Hello, ma'am. Ma'am?
Yeah, hello. Hello.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible. Ma'am,
Yeah.
we'll start the session in 5 minutes.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, ma'am. Welcome to this exciting webinar on web scraping and data visualization brought to you by A Square I Club of the Department of AI at Anurag University. I am Yuvashri, treasurer of the A Square I Club and a student from second year AI department. And I'm thrilled to be here with my co-anchor Muskan, also from second year AIA.
Hi everyone, I'm Muskan from second year AIA, head of hospitality committee. And I am excited to be here with Yuvashri to explore this fascinating topic. Web scraping and data visualization have become essential tools in today's technological landscape. And we are here to learn from our expert speakers and engage with our audience.
Absolutely, Muskan. And speaking of our expert speaker, we have the pleasure of having Munmun ma'am, the Principal of Automation and Innovation at Accenture. Her extensive experience and expertise in automation and innovation make her the perfect fit for today's topic.
Yes, we are incredibly grateful to have Munmun ma'am with us today. And we are not just here to listen. We want to engage with our audience as well. This session is a great opportunity for us to connect with our viewers and hear their thoughts about web scraping and data visualization.
That's right, Muskan. So to all the audience present here, seated in the auditorium, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to ask ma'am directly during the designated question and answer session. As we embark on this informative and captivating journey together, we aim to engage and ignite your intellectual curiosity by delving into the technical aspects of web scraping and data visualization.
And most importantly, we would like to extend a warm welcome to all our participants. Thank you for joining us today. And we hope that you will find this webinar to be informative and engaging.
We appreciate your participation and we look forward for your active involvement throughout the session. So let's sit back, relax, and enjoy the webinar on web scraping and data visualization brought to you by the A Square I Club.
Dear participants, it is our honor and privilege to welcome today's distinguished speaker, who brings with her expectational wealth of knowledge and experience in the field of automation and innovation. We have the immense pleasure of having her with us today. A renowned expert and industry leader, Munmun ma'am, Principal of Automation and Innovation at Accenture. Although ma'am is joining us virtually, her extensive experience in driving digital transformation and implementing innovative automation solutions for clients across various sectors is truly unmatched. And we are incredibly fortunate to have her as a keynote speaker for today's event. Her unique perspective and deep knowledge of industry are sure to provide us with a wealth of valuable information and practical tips on how to leverage these technologies in our own work. So, without further ado, let's give a warm virtual welcome to Munmun ma'am. Thank her for joining us today.
Dear participants, we have yet another esteemed guest with us today whose dynamic leadership and unwavering support have played a pivotal role in bringing this event to fruition. Dr. Mallikarjuna Reddy sir is an exceptional leader driving the AI department with agility and decisive action. He is known for his approachable demeanor, consistently interacting with inspiring students. He not only encourages academic excellence, but also fosters a nurturing environment for extracurricular and co-curricular activities. His promptness in granting permissions for technical events showcases his commitment to enhancing student skills and knowledge. Dr. Mallikarjuna Reddy sir's unwavering motivation and ability to talent and among students have allowed many to excel in their areas of excellence. Under his visionary leadership, we are confident that our students will continue to achieve remarkable success. Let us show our appreciation to Dr. Mallikarjuna Reddy sir's presence and the immense impact he is having on the AI department and Anurag University. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Dr. Mallikarjuna Reddy sir, the head of the Department of AI at Anurag University.
Before we commence, I would like to take a moment to recognize and warmly welcome Victor Daniel sir, the faculty coordinator of A Square I Club. His guidance and mentorship have become most valuable to the students of A Square I Club. His unwavering dedication has played a significant role in bringing this webinar to life. Let's show our appreciation for Sir's presence and his valued contribution to the success of today's event.
Now, we also take the privilege to call upon Shilpa ma'am and other faculty members to come onto the stage. Thank you, ma'am, and we welcome with a warm heart.
Before we proceed with our keynote speaker, we would like to take a moment to invite Monish, the A Square I Club president, to give a brief introduction of the club and its activities. Monish has been instrumental in organizing various events and activities, contributing to the growth and success of the club. Monish, please come up and share some insights about the club and its accomplishments with our audience today.
Good morning, everyone. For those who are unfamiliar, A Square I Club is a student-driven initiative of the Department of AI at Anurag University, aimed at promoting and fostering interest in the fields of machine learning, deep learning, and big data. This club was initiated in the month of February 2023. And we are excited to see that the A Square I Club continues to provide valuable opportunities for students to enhance their technical skills and explore new technologies in the field of AI. Already in February, the A Square I Club conducted a successful workshop on Git and GitHub, which has received a great response from the students. We are thrilled to have the A Square I Club to host this webinar on web scraping and data visualization, and we hope that this event will be another valuable addition to our repertoire of activities. Please note that this event is currently being live streamed on YouTube. We would like to thank our guest speaker, Munmun for agreeing to the live stream of this session, which will enable a wider audience to benefit from our expertise. We hope that you find this event to be informative and insightful, and we appreciate your participation. We are continuously working to expand the range of events and opportunities that the A Square I Club offers to the students. Our goal is to provide a diverse range of events and activities that cater to different interests and skill levels within the field of AI. Whether you are interested in machine learning, deep learning, big data, or other areas of AI, we want to ensure that there's something for everyone. So stay tuned for more exciting events in the future, and we hope to see you there. We also encourage students to join our Discord channel, where they can post any queries related to the Git and GitHub workshop we conducted, as well as any questions they might have about data wrangling, machine learning, deep learning, and big data. Our team is always happy to help and provide guidance on these topics. Additionally, if there are any specific topics or areas within the field of AI the students would like to learn more about, they can reach out to us and suggest that we conduct events on these topics. We are also looking for ways to cater the interests and needs of our members, and we would love to host more events based on what the community wants. So feel free to get in touch with us and let us know what you're interested in learning. I would like to extend a warm welcome to everyone who joined us today, and thank you for your participation and enthusiasm. Your support makes events like this possible. I appreciate your continued interest in the A Square I Club and look forward to welcoming you to our future events. Thank you.
Thank you, Monish, for that insightful introduction to the A Square I Club and its initiatives. Your leadership and dedication have played a significant role in fostering a dynamic learning environment for the club members. Now, I would like to welcome Manoj, Marketing Coordinator of A Square I Club, to introduce Dr. Mallikarjuna Reddy, sir.
Dr. A. Mallikarjun Reddy, working as Associate Professor and Head in AI Department, Anurag University, have a total experience of 15 years in academics under various capacities. He has done BTech in Anna University, MTech in NIT Calicut, PhD from JNTU Kakinada, received the Best Teacher Award and the Best Paper Award. To his credit, he has won German patent with Grand Patent and 30 plus journal publications, and also presented more than 20 papers in various national and international conferences. He has contributed as a speaker for various faculty development programs on teachings and learning practices. He is serving as active reviewer of peer-reviewed international journals such as Soft Computing, Page Computing Science, JEET, and many more journals. He has been a part of advisory committee, convener, chair, and co-chair, technical program committee, and organizing committee member for various national and international conferences. His areas of interest are digital image processing, machine learning and Internet of Things, data science, database, and security. Thank you.
Now, we would like to invite Dr. A. Mallikarjuna Reddy, sir, the head of the Department of AI at Anurag University, to share his thoughts and insights with us. Dr. Mallikarjuna Reddy, sir, guidance and leadership have been instrumental in the growth and success of the department. We are honored to have him with us today. We invite HOD, sir, to please come up and share your valuable insights with the participants.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to everyone and respected faculty members and my dear students. As the head of the department, I am delighted to welcome you all the session on web scraping and data visualization. We have come together today to dive into two pivotal techniques that have transformed how we gather and analyze the data. Web scraping is the technique of extracting data from websites and has become a vital tool for business and researchers to efficiently collect large volumes of data. With the ever-growing amount of information available online, web scraping has become increasingly important for informed decision making. On the other hand, data visualization is the practice of representing data graphically or visually. It enables us to trends and patterns that may not appear in raw data. Data visualization helps make complex information more understandable and accessible to a broader audience. We are also honored to have Munmun Das with us today, and she serves as the principal for automation and innovation at Accenture. Her in-depth expertise in automation and innovation makes her a perfect fit for discussing these subjects, and we are grateful for the commitment and input. Additionally, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to our faculty coordinator, Mr. Victor Daniel, and student committee members of A Square Club. The tireless effort have made the insightful session possible. I hope you all find the session both informative and engaging. Happy learning. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words and for your continuous support in nurturing the AI department. Your leadership and vision have played a significant role in fostering an environment of excellence and innovation for our students. Now, I would like to welcome Akshita, Technical Secretary of A Square I Club, to introduce Munmun Das ma'am.
Munmun Das is a competent and experienced professional with over 16 years of experience in software project management, product development, product strategy, and delivery of large-scale web and mobile applications. She has demonstrated strong problem-solving and leadership abilities and possesses excellent interpersonal and communication skills. Munmun is currently leading the Center of Excellence in her current organization and serves as an industry speaker, corporate mentor, or guest lecturer, mentoring industry tech force. Furthermore, Munmun is conducting extensive research work on the risk management of sustainable smart cities enabled by AI, IoT, blockchain. And her white papers on this topic are highly acclaimed and recognized. She has implemented handshaking projects on RPA with .NET web applications, and successfully built on-demand RPA that triggered bots in RPA servers from legacy .NET applications just by a button click. Munmun has extensive experience in data analysis and visualization, with a particular focus on helping organizations and individuals make sense of complex data sets. She is an accomplished speaker and has delivered numerous talks and workshops on data analysis, visualization, and wrangling. In this event, Munmun will share her insights on the importance of data visualization and wrangling in today's world. She will discuss the latest trends and techniques for creating effective visualizations and demonstrate how to work with large and complex datasets. Her talk promises to be both informative and engaging. Attendees are sure to come away with valuable insights and practical skills.
Now, without any further ado, let's hand it over to our keynote speaker, Ms. Munmun Das ma'am, to get started with her presentation on web scraping and data visualization.
A very good morning to everyone. I am overwhelmed and honored at the same time to share the stage with so many renowned people, the professors. I really salute you, professors, that you are, like sharing the and imparting the knowledge to our youngsters. That is a great thing, and the way India is progressing nowadays, it's getting digitalized. And if I am looking at other countries, India is at least, like 10 years ahead in the digitalization. So I will just, like share my greetings to all the students here, to all the renowned professors who are, like waiting for my speech here. So without much wait, I will share my screen. I will little bit introduce myself. My introduction is already been given, and I am really thankful to you all. So let me share my screen. Yeah, let me know if my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
So let me just start this slideshow. So this is kind of my old session slides actually, which I am sharing today. The topic, sorry, slightly was, like what is discussed now, like it is on web scraping and data visualization. What is being communicated to me is web scraping and data wrangling. So I have prepared like some of my previous slides of some of my previous sessions from that, but yes, data visualization also I can share. So before going to today's agenda, like what we will learn today, let me just little bit introduce myself. As already the introduction is given, I am an applied data scientist and working for almost 16 years in digital transformation domain. So not only data analytics or AI is my domain, but there are several other pillars which I am working as a delivery unit lead. So mostly I am seeing the projects of AI ML, RPA, and also there are some data analytics projects and web development projects. So it is a overall, like a digital transformation. Recently, I am researching into generative AI to 3D. So basically, it is kind of, like we are researching something like where we can leverage generative AI to create the 3D models for the metaverse creation or the 3D space creation or 3D experience. So that is something of my research recently. I am also doing my global DBA with Swiss Business Management School of Business Management, Swiss School of Business Management. So there I am doing a research on basically smart cities. And also I am involved currently in a project which is dealing with the smart cities. So basically it's a project of, like tracking the potholes and the garbage based on the drone images and the satellite images. So that is kind of a client project which I'm involved now. So yes, so this is my portfolio in short. This is my published book, which I have published last year. Like it is on actually automation in VBA, like how you can do automation mostly in every domain, like email automation, web scraping, web API calls. So everything you can do in VBA. Many people doesn't know the power of VBA. So for that, I wrote this book and I have published this book. Recently, I'm working on another book that is machine learning with F#. That is one of my favorite language. I am not a very much Python lover because it is a little bit slow, though there are some robust libraries in Python. But I am more into, like the DLL kind of framework. So .NET is my favorite. So for that, I am doing some research in F# also. So this is kind of my portfolio. Apart from this, I like to do off-road biking. In 2016, I have alone gone to Ladakh from Delhi, like riding my Royal Enfield. So that is kind of one of my, I can say, tremendous and adventurous achievement. Like as a lone, traveler, I have, almost covered 3,500 kilometers. Apart from that, I like to read a lot. So whenever I get time, generally I don't get time, but whenever I get time, I read a lot. So this is kind of my portfolio. Apart from this, I am a very much, coding person. So I definitely, you guys should learn theory a lot for the fundamental knowledge, for clearing the fundamentals, concepts, etc. But yes, coding is something I would like, and I am a very much 0 to 100%, 0 to 100 kind of a person. So I like to develop something from scratch, research something from scratch, and try to implement it in the full go. So that is kind of the liking I have in the technical field. So okay, so before going to today's agenda, will it be okay if I off my video because to get some more bandwidth? Just like confirmation. Otherwise, I will continue like this.
Sure, ma'am, go ahead.
Okay, so I will be covering mostly, mostly on the hands-on things, because that is most, applicable for the students. Mostly if you are, targeting for the jobs, placements. So I think you should practice more on hands-on on these things because it needs more practice. Data analytics and AI ML is something which you should be practicing more often. So let me just go to today's agenda. Okay, so we have the agenda of, learning what is web scraping and why is web scraping needed, like where web scraping falls in the entire data analysis flow, and different techniques of web scraping. And I will tell some of the tips, like hands-on in Python, and I will tell some of the tips and tricks which will enable you to learn web scraping in a very easy manner. Okay, apart from this, I will cover the data wrangling part that is mostly close to EDA, like exploratory data analysis. So it will be good only because you guys are expecting for data visualization. So EDA is more on the data analysis and visualization, and data wrangling is more on cleaning and making the data readable for EDA, or making the data, appropriate for EDA. So both the things will be covered if I cover one EDA topic. So that also I will do the hands-on. Okay, so let's go like web scraping. What is web scraping? So this is some of the slides I will cover very fast because, as I said, I'm not a very theory person, but just to give a context. What is web scraping? Web scraping is a method to obtain large amount of data from websites. So this is very easy to understand, self-explainable. Web scraping requires two parts, namely crawler and scraper. So crawler basically crawls in the website to search for a given data with leveraging some particular or algorithm or the logic. Okay, it can be artificial intelligence algorithm also, AI algorithm also, and scraper is something like which scrapes the data from the the identified data source and it gives you back. So that is kind of two handlers are there here in the web scraping. Okay, so why do we use web scraping? What is it is used for? Yes, so in data analytics, what happens is if your company is a very small company, most of the time for the research or analysis or for price monitoring, even for some market research, you need to do web scraping because client won't be having much data. If the client is a mid-size or a big company, yeah, you will be having enough data. Maybe there the web scraping will be redundant because you don't have to do web scraping because already they will have their data warehouse wherein you can fetch the data. But if the client is a small company or for the personal uses, suppose you want to, like do some research, do some, like price monitoring for different competitors, do some market research, like take some RSS news feed. So do some sentiment analysis on how, like now mostly, like in modern days happen, like I have, like I was involved with a project. They are doing the sentiment analysis from the Twitter and the Facebook accounts, like to reduce the violence on the females and all domestic violence. So based on the messages that are coming in the Facebook comments or the post, even in Twitter, they are kind of doing the sentiment analysis, understanding the sentiment of those messages, and understanding that whether it is kind of a violent message or it can, like do some disruption in the society. So those kind of analysis were being made. So likewise, if certain things like these are required, so I have, like put some of the use cases. So for these things, you can do web scraping. But again, there is a catch in here, because if you search web scraping, whether it's ethical or not, web scraping has different legal rules in different companies. So yes, if you are doing for not very much ethical purpose, then I would recommend that don't go and learn this, because ultimately you should do something constructive, not destructive for the society. So web scraping is a very helpful and very useful and a powerful tool. If you can, like take it in a constructive way, can fetch the information for the constructive purposes. Okay, so where it fits in data analysis or in the data analysis flow fully. So before data analysis even start, we have a segment called data preparation. So I am telling this from my industry experience. So data preparation team is entirely different, and they are sometimes called data engineers also. So what do data engineers do? Data engineers' work is to design the pipelines for data mining from different warehouses. It can be different data source, like it can be the external source, it can be company's own data warehouses, it can be any database, it can be a NoSQL DB, it can be a Excel file, CSV file, or a packet file, it can be anything. But they just, like make the framework of the entire data pipelining, that data will come or data will flow in this frequency to the system, so that the data is ready for the data analyst to do certain analysis. Okay, so that is the upstream process where the data preparation is done. So that is the data engineering part. Okay, so there it can, like web scraping can play a, like a massive role where the data is not there, and if the data is required for some of the external sources, web scraping can be done to pull those data, fetch those data. So yeah, so that there the web scraping fits. After that, the data cleaning starts. So that is kind of a data wrangling part. So where you have to like clean the raw data. So whatever you get, that is a form of a raw data. Sometimes you will get as an XML format. Sometimes you get the data as a JSON format. So you have to just analyze the data and check what are the things, what are the tags you require from those data. So those things you have to understand, and you have to first of all clean that data in that manner. Suppose I am getting a news feed and I just want the date and the title of the news. So I have to find search those parameters in the entire data, and I will just extract those things. So that is one part. Second part is that you have to check whether the data is missing. So you are checking kind of missing values, whether there is any outliers. It is kind of cleaning the entire data for the downstream process where actual feature engineering is done. So what is kind of feature engineering now? So feature engineering is actually the analysis part, data analysis, where the data analysis start, where you are checking that which features or which is your target variable, what you are trying to get from this data, what is your end result. Suppose I have a data of house flat prices, say, for an area. What will be my target? Like what I should be looking for? I should be looking for the price of the house based on the different parameters. Okay, and what can be those parameters? Those parameters can be number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, the location of the flat, the area square feet of the flat. All these parameters can be my features. So there actually I have to analyze the data, like how my price of the data, that is my target variable, or the dependent variable, you can say, is like depending on the other numerous parameters. Suppose that, like I said, the location, the area square feet, all these features. So these are independent variables and also called as features. So you have to say that what is a correlation like between this dependent variable and all other independent variables. So if the correlation is high, that means if I am tuning one feature, that means my target variable will be changing, correct? So it is kind of that relationship exists. So from there, you have to understand that those features you have to extract or select and analyze to understand that how your target or how your dependent variable will perform. Okay, so here actually comes your model designing, wherein you fit this data into the model as a test set and trend set. So there are numerous models available in Python libraries also and other libraries also. So you have to know like which model you will fit in the data, and there you build the model and it will give you the like any output now you are putting into it. Since the model is trained, so it will give you the output. So this is kind of a flow of the data analysis. Okay, so today what we will learn scrapping JavaScript website with Python using request HTML, searching for the hidden API endpoints. Okay, so I think more than this and this will be, like we can overlap with each other, like it is the same point. So I will show you how you can, like search for the API endpoints, and this is very critical. As I told already that web scraping is not very much, like the legal rules of web scraping is different, and this can be critical for, like if the website is not secured and all, and you are, like extracting some secured information. Scrapping with Beautiful Soup library. So this is a very good library. Okay. And this is, I think, a very common library which is used in web scraping. Scrapping with Selenium. Selenium is another very popular library. So Selenium is kind of a web automation tool also. It is generally a popular testing tool, automated testing tool, but it is used as a web automation and web scraping both. So both the things you can use Selenium. And there is another library called Helium. So this also, with this also you can scrap web scraping. So I will show you some of this, like codes as how to, like extract from the web. So I will go to the code. Before that, web scraping can be done in VBA also. So in VBA also some powerful libraries are there which you can use to just, like just writing the queries in the Excel VBA and you can scrap the website. Also, there is some Power Query formulas, which I will show you. That is very interesting at the end of this, like all this Python code. Okay, so without much delay, I will go to the Python code. Just give me a feedback, like hope this is not boring for you. I will make it interesting. So once we go to the code, and I will just, like you will enjoy it. So any feedback or any questions till now? Or I can just continue and at the end I can take the questions. Okay, so let's go ahead. I will take the silence as yes, I can continue. So I'm going ahead. Okay, so let's see the first point. Okay, so looking for the hidden APIs. Okay, so here I have selected a website called sunglasshut.in. Okay, so this is actually a web e-commerce site, and it is selling the sunglasses. So this site is already open in my system. I will just go here. Okay, and this I will close. I will show this later. Okay, so I will just put sunglass.in. Okay, so this is a sunglass e-commerce site. Okay, and I want to, like take some information about the new sales or what are the women brands available or main brands available. Okay, so let me go to the sale part or the woman brand maybe. Okay, now if I want to, like scrape this data, like price, the variant, whether it's polarized or what is a company name. Okay, so this is kind of a data which is flowing in the website. Okay, so if I want to scrape this data, so this is a live data which I want to scrape. Okay, so what I will do for this, I will go and inspect. Okay, and I am looking actually for it's a JavaScript site, but I am looking, if you see here, it's a kind of a JavaScript. You won't get any, like data like it is coming in the A tag or something, some link is coming that you can scrap from it with the beautiful soup. So it is a JavaScript site. What I am looking for is that if I can get some hidden APIs, which is actually fetching data, like from the server, from this company server, and which is giving us, right? So for that, what I can do is I can go to the network tab. So see, I am very easy. Okay, so here actually is a Python code, which is very easy. Like we have to take the HTTP client connection, okay? And we have to pass all these headers. So these headers actually we got from the site only. So whatever you are finding here, the headers are found that you can feed in here. Okay, so this is a kind of a header, and you are just making the request, and you will just just call it. Okay, I think I have one more file for this where I have actually printed the JSON. Let me just find it out. Yes. Okay, so here actually the JSON was not printed. So it is the same thing only. I am calling sunglassheart.in. Okay, and I am pulling these headers, and I am doing an API GET request call basically. Okay, and this is how, like I am just, like putting the entire result in a JSON. So let me just find out that where this JSON is. I will just delete this JSON for now to show. Hello?
Hello, ma'am. Actually, due to a technical issue, we got disconnected in between. We were able to completely see a presentation, but after the presentation, we were disconnected. So can you please?
Yeah, sure. So from where you got disconnected, if you can tell me then.
Like you were asking us that is the session okay, or you want to make us more interactive, right?
Okay, okay, okay. So, yeah, so any feedback or any questions?
From there.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone has any questions. So yeah, please go.
Okay. Yeah, so I will go ahead. So as okay, let me just start from this beginning. Okay. Okay. So if you see here, what we discussed so far is, sorry, another slide. Okay, so what we discussed so far is that we will see some of this, like ways to scrape the script with. Okay, so one is the JavaScript website, like JavaScript based website, where actually all the things happen with the API calls, and you won't see, like practical HTML tags into it. So basically finding any HTML elements and extracting those HTML elements would be difficult. So for those sites, we need to just, like search for the hidden API endpoints. So this is little bit tricky because this is kind of a, like trial and error. Maybe in some sites you won't find any API at all, or if you find also, you cannot, like send that information. So you have to, like keep on looking for the API and test it. If it is working, it's fine. You can just extract the data from that. Okay. So another important library which we can use is Beautiful Soup library, but Beautiful Soup is again kind of works on the HTML elements. So HTML tags, it just finds on the HTML tags. So if the header is there, item paragraph is there, so it will just like extract data from those tags. If any link is given in the A tag, so anchor tag, so it can just extract data from there. Scrapping with Selenium. Selenium is another important web scrapping tool, but it is not a web scrapping tool essentially. It is a testing tool, automation testing tool. But eventually you can use it for web automation and web scrapping. It is a very powerful library. And it can be integrated with Java and Python both. So both even in VBA also. So all these, like with all these programmings, you can, like implement Selenium and you can do web automation or web scrapping. Helium is another library which also can be used for scraping the web. So these are some of the libraries or ways or tips that you can scrape the web. There are some challenges which can occur while doing the web scraping. That is, some websites contains iframes. So I will show those challenges. there you won't get data directly, but you have to do some switching. Some websites you can, like contain secure data. So the client will ask you that I don't want you to open the browser and do the web scraping. You have to do it in a headless manner. So there are some headless libraries available in Selenium that can be leveraged to do those. And also some multi-threading techniques of Python can be used to scrape web, like multiple, like launching multiple browsers at the same time. Okay, just to, like make it more time effective. So I will show some of this demonstration. So let me just go to my first website. So let me just grab data. If the data connectivity is getting lost, just let me know. Then I will stop there. So I'm just continuing this. So I am into this e-commerce site. So it is selling kind of a sunglass. So I have kind of research into, like Google and YouTube, and find this site that which contains some API and we can leverage it. All the sites contains API nowadays because it is, like a microservices call. But calling those APIs, that some of the APIs are very secured. Okay, so sometimes the APIs doesn't work. Okay, so now if I want to go to the main brand, the sunglass brand, you can see the lots of data is flowing into here. Okay, now if you want to scrape this data, so what is a brand, what is a price, what is everything, it is coming over here. Okay, so this is kind of a data which is flowing. Okay, so now if I want to get this, scrape this data, okay, what I will do, I will inspect this site. So inspecting this site means I am inspecting all the elements over here. But if you see here, it is kind of a JavaScript site and you won't get any element directly. So it is kind of all in div and all is scripted. Okay, so you won't get any tag like anchor tag to get the links and all. Okay, so what we can do next thing is that we have to search for the hidden APIs. If any API get call is like happening to fetch this data. So for that, we can go to the network tab. We can go to actually here. So already we are here to see what are the things like are getting called. Okay, so as you can see, and you can see this. So one API is getting called, and you can see it is kind of 200 status requests was showing. Some items are also coming. So if you see in the response, some items are coming. Okay, I think you can copy this API and you can test this in the any API testing tool, either Postman or Insomnia. So any API testing tool. So in my system, Insomnia is there. So I'm testing it there. So what you have to do is you have to copy as copy command like CURL. Okay. So if you copy like this, the headers and the authentication which is getting sent with this API, it will be entirely copied. Okay. So if I copy this, then I go to my Postman tool, sorry, Insomnia tool, and I will put it as a new request. So as you can see, like one request I have made and it was showing me successfully, like all the response was coming. Okay, let me put the other request also. So I will just go here. I will put this. Okay. Let's see. Okay, some bad error is coming. Let me just change this to post. Don't know whether the method I'm putting is right or not. Okay, so one request actually worked for me. So that is a prior. So it is kind of, as I said, it is a kind of a trial and error kind of. Not all APIs will work, but some APIs can work from here. So this request actually works. So what this is the next thing you can do is, now you have to code this. Okay, so you have tested the API, you have to code this. So how to code this? So for the code, there is a request library in Python, which you can leverage. So here basically, I have put a simple code, and if you can get this in my GitHub channel, I will share it. So if anyone wants to practice, can practice. So there I'm putting the website address. So this is kind of a like client request which is making. So it is the object I'm creating from the HTTP connection. Okay, client connection. I am putting the same headers as I'm getting from the URL. Okay, and I am doing the request. Okay. So this request is printed also, and I am actually saving this request in a JSON file also. Okay, just to check that what is coming in the JSON file. So I will be just deleting this JSON file because this will be anyhow built. So I will just delete it, scrape.json. Okay, so now if I run this code, okay, so as you can see, all the data is coming. You can see the currency, the price, the JPG link, the image link, everything, discount, price, everything is coming, okay, in a JSON. So, and the scrap.json is also built. So the entire website is getting scrapped and the data is getting loaded in your JSON. So this is kind of a data source you have built from scrapping the web. Okay, but this is little bit tricky because all the APIs won't work for all websites. Okay, so you need to little bit, do some research or some testing, some trial and run to make the things work. Okay, so this is kind of the you can do like search for the hidden API. So that is the first one. Okay, a second one is the beautiful soup. Okay, so this I will close. This I will close. Okay, so Beautiful Soup is a very much, like the well-known library. So for web scraping, it is very much well-known used. But the thing is that it is just identifying, like some of the HTML elements only. So there actually is a good site from where I have taken this code also. So you can also refer to the site. So just 1 second. I will open that site to have a, like the good understanding of this. Okay, so this is a, this is a, like the tutorial which is given here, and this is a very good tutorial. So you guys also can go and look into the tutorial. Now, this is a small code, which is, I will just run till the website loads. So if I just run this code, so it is again making us some request and it is getting the site with the beautiful soup. Just 1 second. Some error happened, issue happened. 1 second. I will just clear the terminal a little because it is too much clumsy now. Okay, so now I will run this code. Okay, as you can see, the entire website elements are coming from the beautiful soup. So now with these elements, what you can find out, you can actually extract anything from these tags. Okay, you can use a link tag, you can use a H1 tab, div tab. So anything from these elements you can extract. And even the data is there in these tabs. Okay, so if you just go to this website also, it is very beautifully explained what you can do here. Okay, so if you can see, like if you run this code, you will get this tab, like the entire website content. Okay, now how you can query these contents, you have different, like things, different functions in the beautiful soup. So I will just go one by one. So first you get the HTML content. So that is that code is doing. Okay, then you can find like this, that find element by ID. Okay, so these are all the functions, inbuilt function of beautiful soup. So if you just, like find any element, want to find any element by the HTML ID, you can find that. Like the main ID is content. So they are finding the ID, like finding that element with the ID, finding the content basically. Okay. Then finding elements by class name. So these are all the functions present. So then after you get the HTML document fully, you can find elements, any elements by class name. Then you can extract text from the HTML elements. So these are all inbuilt function which you can, just, like practice and, like try out. Okay, because this will work. Okay, so these are all the functions, predefined, pre-built functions of Beautiful Soup library, where you can find any element with its ID or name. So like that, you can, like just extract the text from those elements. So this is a very interesting, and this is also, this will require you some programming skills as well, because sometimes you will get more than one element where you have to put some for loops and get the desired extracted text, okay, or the required text. So this is kind of a, like you can try out. So this is another library which is very useful library. Okay, now the third thing is another very interesting library. Okay, so that is kind of Selenium. So we call it Selenium. So it is a actually automation testing library, but let me just run the code once, then you will understand what it is doing. Okay, so first I will explain this code, okay, and then I will run it. Now I am opening youtube.com here. And what is this? Like wd.findelement by name, search query. What is search query? So I will explain you what is search query. Okay, so how you can use Selenium. So let me just go and find out youtube.com. Okay. Now, if you want to, like extract anything from here, any control, or you want to, like target any control here. Suppose I want to automate my search. Okay. So I want to just search something and I should press this search button and it should come. And then I should, like able to extract all the text or the web URLs which is coming in my search. Now, how to do that? Now it is very simple. Okay. So I will just go to the website. I will do again the inspect thing. Sorry. Okay, so the inspect is open. Okay, now what you can do is you have to find out the search element. So what is this search element? So for that you have to select element. Okay, and you see when you select element, it is automatically you can see here that element you can see. So this is my search element, right? So I will just click it here. Okay, and the exact element will be placed, like it will be shown to you in the entire website wherever you will click your cursor. Okay, so here you can take certain things. What are the things you can take? Just let me show you. Just select it again. Okay, so what are the things you can see? You can see there is an ID. It is an input tag. That is an input tag, definitely. You can see ID is there, then name should be there, name is there. So search query is nothing but the name of this element. So it is a unique name which is getting, you can fetch it from the here, from the element. So this is a search query. So I found it in the code. So I have put it in the code. So where you will go or what you will search. So I am telling the driver, Selenium driver, to find this tag. Search query. So how I am finding the element by name. So definitely the name is given there. You can find it by ID also. So I am finding it by name now. So I'm putting search query here. Good. Now I am putting some text over there, like what I want to find, want to search actually. So I'm putting some text over there. I am giving some resting time that okay till the website loads and all. Rest a little, like just wait, hold on, because it's a synchronous operation. The code is running line by line. So I'm giving some wait statement. Then I am searching for the button. What is this button? Where I can find the button? In the same way, I will have to find the search button to click it. Okay. So I will just go there, and the same way I will find this button. So here you can see this is a search button. Okay. So this is the icon which is coming. The button also it is coming, like search ID, search icon legacy. Okay. So this is a button which is coming, and I am putting the same ID here. You can see I'm putting the same ID here, like search button by ID. And then I'm doing the button search.click. The code is very simple. You can see it is like 4 or 5 lines of code only. And I am giving some wait statement. Okay. So let's run this code and see what is happening. And here I am running that show me some videos with EDA with F#, since I already told F# is my favorite for data analysis. So I am just searching like EDA with F#. Okay. So I will just run this code. It is opening automatically. The browser is getting launched. I am not doing here anything. You can see it is automatically putting the search and the clicks, the button click. So it is giving me all the videos of the data analysis with F#, and the first video is mine only, my previous session. So in this way you can like control the web automation fully. Now if you want to analyze these videos or extract any information from this video, the next thing you can do is in the same way you can use Selenium and you can extract these controls. So you can find for these controls or find for this deed You can put the for loop in the deep, that what are the different videos available, and you can extract the data from there. So some kind of programming skills are required, but yes, this is kind of a web scraping you can do. Okay, and it is also fully automating the web. You don't have to open the browser. You don't have to feed anything. It is opening itself. YouTube is opened itself. The data is feed in itself. The search button is clicked in itself. So all the controls are very much, like controlled by the automation software itself. So if you see here, Chrome is being controlled by automated test software. Okay, so you don't have to do anything over here. It is just getting controlled by the Selenium library. Okay, so this is a very good example. Okay, now sometimes happen is that, okay, I will show you another example. This is also very interesting. The same Selenium library I am using, and I am doing a address validation in the US. So there is a site in US called USPS where you can validate any address in that site. Okay, so this is kind of a web control you are having from the program. So it can be any website, any website. Okay, so that is kind of a like control you are having from the program itself. So if I just run this, it is the same code, nothing, like I'm just finding the element by ID, and I'm putting the desired like values, like whatever value I want to put. So I am putting here like like give me the address input, city text box, state text box, and put these inputs. Okay, and then at the end just do the button click, like search the address. Okay, so let me just run this program also, then you will have a understanding that how it is working. You can see the USPS site is opened automatically. I am not controlling anything over here. The program will give the input parameters here. There also I don't have any control. It is just run by the Selenium library only. You can see the input is put. Okay, and the button also will be clicked automatically. So it is giving me the address you entered and what is a valid address search. So this is a kind of a like the site what it is doing. So I am just entirely controlling this site using Selenium library. So here, if you want to extract the correct address, you have to again extract this control, inspect this control, and extract the correct address. So this is how it can be used in a very automated way of web scraping. Okay, so web scraping can be done manually, where you are searching the website, passing on the values, doing some testing of the APIs, and an automated way where you can just like accessing all the controls of the website, and the data is getting fetched automatically. Okay, so this is kind of a program which does that. So now there are some problems. There are some pain areas which I will tell, like what is happening is there are some websites which contains iframes. Okay, so in this way, maybe by inspecting you get the ID as T-city. But if this ID is, your element is present inside a iframe, very easily you won't get that element. The program can't find that element because it is inside another iframe. Okay, so there are some websites which contains iframe. So that problem also can be solved with Selenium. Selenium has a function, inbuilt function, where it can switch between iframes. Just you have to know the iframe ID or the count of iframe, say anything you can put over there. Okay, so let's just see this, how it is running. So I am just, like explaining some of the pain areas which can happen often. Okay, so those things I am telling. Now, you can see here, I am just switching to a iframe. Okay, I will explain this. Let me just first comment out this code, that without switching, what happens? Okay, and let's get to a website where some iframes are there. So I am just using a W3 school website where they have explained some iframe tags. So this is actually the website you can see, and they have actually used some iframes for their example. So these we can leverage. Now I wanted to get this header tag basically. So if I inspect this element, okay, so if I inspect this element, I go to inspect this, and I want this tag, basically the header tag. So I select this, and you can see this header tag is coming here. Okay, but it is not a simple header tag. It is actually falling under a iframe. If you see, iframe is there, okay, and the ID is iframe result. Okay, so you can see from the elements only that this header tag is not normally occurring in the page, okay, in the body. It is actually falling inside the iframe. So this cannot be directly, like extracted. So you need to switch to the iframe. Okay, so how to do that? Let's go to the code and see what the code has given us. So I have already run the code, and you can see is that it hasn't given anything because it couldn't find anything here. Like the header tag is not found. Why? Because it is inside the iframe. So it didn't print the value also for me because I tried to print the value. It didn't print the value for me. Okay, no problem. So let's do one thing. It is just, we have to use that inbuilt function, and that is switch to iframe. Okay, so this is some kind of pain points, like which as a student, you can, like not understand like while doing this and why it is not happening, and maybe you will waste your days in it without understanding that why it is not happening, why I cannot extract with Selenium. But these are some of the pain areas which you need to check that whether it is inside the iframe or not, whether it is inside a pop-up window or not. So everything Selenium gives to handle, but you have to just switch to that, like that position. Okay, so now I am here. I am switching to the iframe, and I am using the iframe ID, that is the iframe result. So as you can see here, this is the iframe ID which I have used, iframe result. Okay, so that is fine now. So let's run this code again. I will close this. Let's see what is happening in the code. It is still running. Let me just bring it a little bit top. So you can see now the header is coming. Remove the iframe border. Okay, so now it has got actually, it can select the element and it can give the print. Okay, so this is how you can, like scrape the elements from the website. Now let's say in the same example, I want to scrape this one. That is this element. The page is displayed in an iframe. Okay, so let me just inspect again. And if I just select this element, I will select it. Okay, so you can see this is the element and this is the H1 tag. So just pay attention to this. This tag is H1, not H2 anymore. And this iframe source is changing. But there is no ID to this iframe. Okay, there is no ID given. But one thing that is you can check that whether this iframe is falling. This is the first iframe within this iframe. So basically this is an iframe within this iframe. So if you see here the framework, you can see this is the iframe result which we have like fetched element from in the previous example, and within that this is the first iframe which is falling. Okay, and within that I have the H1 tag. So this is kind of a framework you can see from here also. Okay, though the ID is not given, but since it is a first iframe, so we can put as 0. That is a count. So it is a first iframe, so it starts from 0, so we can put as 0. And this is a H1 tag. So let's do this, quickly do this change in the code. So I will just comment out this. So this is kind of, I am within this iframe now, iframe result. Within this iframe, I am going to another iframe. That is the first iframe I am getting. Okay, so I am putting the count as 0. And this time the tag is H1. So this is the change and nothing else I need to change over here. Okay, so let's run this again. Okay, it is still running. Let's see what happens. Okay, now you can see this input, the print statement, it is coming. The page is displayed in an iframe. So this is it is extracting from the second iframe. So it is now within the iframe, there is another iframe where you are extracting this text. I have seen people, like wasting days when they couldn't extract elements and they are not understanding that why they couldn't extract elements. Okay. So this is a kind of a, like twist in here where you have to check that the structure of the HTML, and if any iframe is there, then you can switch to the iframe and you can extract the elements. Okay, so this is kind of another example. Another good example I will show you that is kind of headless Selenium automation. So what happens here is sometimes the client asks that since some websites, actually, once again, let me just clear the web output first. Okay, some websites, actually contain some client sensitive information. So while working, they don't want the program to launch the browser. Okay, so they want it to go in a headless manner. That is kind of a backend operation that the browser will open, will do everything, but you can't see anything that the browser is opening or launching. Okay, so what we can do is, since we are not understanding what is happening here, you can do some print statement that which driver has opened, what is a window title, or take a screenshot of the page, like where, just to understand whether the work has been happened or not. Okay, even if some error happens, you can take a screenshot. Okay, so that is this function, inbuilt function like driver.get screenshot as a file, and I am capturing it in this file. Okay, so already this file will be there. So I'm just deleting this file once. So this is the operation I have run in the morning. So I will just delete it. Okay, and here I am giving in the search as Anurag University events. And let's see, like I want to capture this in the image only, but you cannot see anything happening over here because the driver won't launch anything. It will just go headless. Okay, and it will just print the title of the website it is opening. Okay, and it will give me an image. So this is what it is doing. So let me just run this. So you cannot see anything that the browser is launched or any operation happening. So it is kind of headless, which is going on. You can see the title has come, YouTube. So YouTube has opened, so the title of the website has come. Okay, then the title has come. The site has now run. Okay, now let's see whether any image is created here or not. So capture is again created. Let's open this. Okay, so you can see here. Let me just open this image from here. It will be giving a better, like view. So you can see the site has worked. It has searched for Anurag University, and whatever the first screenshot it could take, it has taken and save it in the image file. So that is giving you the idea that the site has worked, opened, everything happened in a like headless. You couldn't see it, but actually the operations happened. It searched for the Anurag University, it clicked it, the events came, and it has taken a screenshot also, and it is saving it in a file. Okay, so these are some of the tips basically while web scraping you can use. And one more tip I will just give you, that is kind of a trick also, you can say. It is kind of opening multiple browsers at the same time. Okay, so if you want to reduce your time and you are doing kind of the same thing, suppose there can be one one use case wherein we had to generate certain policy informations and have to create those create new policies with those information. So it is kind of running parallel. So you have to generate and create. So those things you can depending on your use case, you can actually launch multiple browsers, but of course depending on your CPU, like how it can take, because it takes some memory. So at the most I am running 2 browsers at a time. So you can see I'm just testing the same address, validating the same address in the USPS site, but this time 2 browsers will be launched and it will go on parallel. So it is kind of multi-threading which is used here. You can see the program is very simple over here. It is only like 2 threads I am putting into 2 functions. So if you see here, like it is just 2 threads I'm starting, and I'm calling these 2 functions in the 2 threads. And I will be validating different address, of course. So just running this. You can see that 2 Chromes are open. Okay. And if I just show you this, you can see this is one, this is another. Okay. And you can see like the different address will be put actually. See here it is different, here it is different. Here the validation done, here it is still going on. Yeah. So both of the things are going parallelly. And if you have another like crunch of time or volumes of data is there and something you can do parallelly here, so you can, like leverage the multi-threading techniques of Python. So that is one important concept. Okay, so this is how like you can do these things parallelly. So here I will stop for the web scrapping. Any questions so far? I hope this is like not boring and you are finding it interesting.
No questions, ma'am.
Okay, so let's go to the EDA part then. I can demonstrate a little bit of data visualization also. Okay, so let me just check. I will be just putting on another slide for EDA. So these are all my previous session slides. I seriously didn't get time to, like build new slides. I'm really, like sorry for that. So EDA is, like a little bit advanced of data wrangling because EDA is kind of not only cleaning the data, it is also about analyzing and visualizing the data. So both the things will be covered in EDA. And I can say you one thing, like the projects I have seen for so far, EDA covers actually, like 30 to 40% of the entire analysis time. So entire project time basically. So it is a very important concept. Because if your EDA is not very good, then probably the machine learning, the models won't be trained in a very good way because the data is not cleaned and prepared. The outliers are not treated. So EDA is a very important concept, and there is no hard and fast rule that you can try on EDA. Data science is all about your, like analysis and your experience. So, and how you are looking at the data. There is no such hard and fast rule that if this happens, you can put this. No, there is no such rule. Okay, but yes, some like some direction is there, which you can utilize to, like make your data analysis skill very, like perfect, or you can just have to just practice it more. So EDA is kind of analyzing and understanding data that is focused on finding problems and relationship in data rather than on testing hypotheses or making predictions. So EDA is not about making predictions or not. That for predictions, we have to train the model. EDA is more about, like finding the pattern basically inside the data, how you can find the relationship, correlation between the different parameters with different data points. So EDA is more about that. And visualizing the data also, looking for the trends, patterns, anomalies. So if any anomalies are there, as well as summarizing, like what conclusion you can get from the data, what is the summary of this data, that those things you can do with the EDA. So it is a very important step in data science. Without EDA, I don't think you can train any model because you have to perform the data EDA step first. And it also helps you to understand the data more, identify any problems or the issues with data, and formulate hypotheses for further analysis. So this is kind of a theoretical definition of EDA. Okay, so as I said that it takes around 35% of the entire analytical process, 35 to 40%, where the raw data is mostly transformed to the useful data. So you get a raw data, and by data wrangling and EDA, actually you transform it to the useful data which can be fit into any model. Okay, so for the training. So for that, it is a very useful step and important step. So what you analyze in the raw data, you basically analyze what are your numerical data points, what is your categorical data points, whether there is any missing value, whether there is any outliers, what kind of visualization you can see. So data visualization is very important. I will tell you why. Why like data visualization is getting popular in these days. You have an Excel sheet or a CSV, and there are rows of data, lakhs of data. You cannot find any trend in looking into the data unless and until you plot some charts or maps or anything on that data to understand that how data is fitting or how data is performing. Okay, so data visualization tool thing is like concept is very important. And of course, data cleaning. So if the data is not cleaned properly, then it won't be a good data for the machine learning model. Handling missing values, mean, median, mode, these I will explain, and treating outliers. So these are some of the important features of EDA. So where actually you are transforming the raw data in the machine, the data which feeds into machine learning, and you are applying feature engineering into it. So that is kind of a transformation which is doing, EDA is doing. Okay, so let us understand it more well. So as you have seen these steps also before, so data sourcing is one of the things which I explained now. That is why web scraping is one of the technique where you can, like source, get the data from the source. One of the techniques, it is one of the techniques, it is not every, like all that, there are so many techniques are there, okay? Data cleaning, then again, it is a concept of data wrangling, as I said. Then actually you are analyzing the data, where how many categorical features are there. You are doing univariate, bivariate, multivariate analysis, okay? So these are some of the concept of data analysis where you are, like univariate means you are doing on the single data, single feature, basically, single variable. Bivariate means when you are comparing two variables, and multivariate means when you are comparing multiple variables. So these are some of the analysis you can do on categorical feature, whether the data is numerical feature. Sometimes numerical feature can be like represented as a categorical value, but actually it is a numerical value, and vice versa can happen. Like categorical feature is actually represented as numerical feature, but actually it is a categorical feature. I will tell those examples where it happens. In numerical feature also you can do correlation. So correlation is a very important concept of statistics where you can find the relation between two variables. Generally, if the value comes between 0.8, 0.9, it means that it is highly correlated. The data is highly correlated. That means if one variable is changing, the other variable is bound to change in a positive manner. If it is minus 0.8, minus 0.9 means the data is highly negatively correlated. Okay, that means if one variable is rising, the other variables is falling, the value is falling. Okay, so these are some of the correlation concepts in statistics. The maximum it can be 1, and in the negative side it can be -1. Trends, you can see various trends like the timelines, basically the timeline trend, the distribution of the data, and there are some derived matrix. So some derived matrix are some calculated matrix. So how you can derive the matrix? There are some rules for that. I will come to it. So first, let us understand about data cleaning. Derived matrix, I will explain what it is. First, we will understand what is data cleaning. So data cleaning is mostly the cleaning the improper data. So it can happen that when you are getting a very big data, lakhs of data is coming. So it is that it can happen that some data is missed or you cannot get some data points. Okay, so those missing data actually will give you some error in the model training and all. So what we need to do if the data size is very small, suppose you have lakhs of data and maybe 400 or 500 data is missing. So it is nothing in that proportion, population basically. So then you can go ahead and delete that data, missing data. But one thing, there is again no hard and fast rule in it. It is mainly, it will fully, like solely depending on your analysis, how you're analyzing the data. If it is a very huge population present, you cannot delete. It is not recommended to delete. But yes, like some data is missing, and that deleting that won't affect the, like the entire population much. In that way, you can go ahead and delete. It is on your analysis. So there is no hard and fast science in it. Okay, it is just the logical thinking. Correct. So what is imputation? Imputation means when you impute the missing values with the mean, median, mode, like the statistical measures of the data. Now there is a catch over here. Ideally, that all the data is not normally distributed. So what is normal distribution? I will show you. Then you will have an idea on that. Maybe you have studied this in the high school, but just a revision on this. So basically, if you like distribute the data and plot it, the data will like take a normal curve or the Gaussian curve. So this is kind of a distribution it is coming. So it is also called as a Gaussian curve or normal curve. So what happens is you can see that mu means mean actually, the mean of the data. So mean is lying at the center, and this sigma is a standard deviation. So what happens is this means that 68.2% of the data falls between mu plus standard deviation, mu minus standard deviation. Okay, so that is kind of a standard normal curve. 95.4% of the data which falls into mu plus twice standard deviation and minus twice standard deviation. And 99.7% of the data it falls into mu plus thrice standard deviation and minus thrice standard deviation. Okay, so this is kind of a normal curve, but in an ideal situation where mu is exactly in the central point. That means the data is not skewed. It is an ideal condition that the data is very symmetric and both the sides actually have the similar kind of distance happen in your practical data or live data. So it can happen that data is rightly tailed or left tailed. So it is called skewness. You can check that what is left skew or live skew data. So it will be not be that mu will be falling exactly in the middle. Okay. So rightly skewed means the curve will be little bit right tailed. Rightly skewed means the right tail will be longer. Left skew means the left tail will be longer. So it is not, very symmetric data. It is actually unsymmetric data. Okay. So there imputing data points, missing data points with the mean is not a good idea. So there you have to find the median and you have to impute. So that is a concept of mean and median where you can input the data, missing data with the mean or median. So again, there is no hard and fast rule in this. It depends on the data also sometimes, and you have to analyze in that way that in what you can impute the data with. Okay, so this is generally a general thumb rule which followed in data analysis, that if the data is skewed, then we replace it with median. Okay, so then the next term is mode. So mode is mostly for the categorical value, categorical data. So I will little bit explain on what is categorical, what is numerical, what is ordinal data, because this may be little bit confusing, like what I am talking, but maybe some, if you are knowing it, this is very good, but maybe I will explain a little bit concept on that. Okay, so mode is actually where the categorical data is there we can replace with mode. Okay, but not sometimes. Again, suppose I will give you an example. If the profession is given in a data set like doctors, nurse, engineers, housewife, then the students, okay, all the professions are given, and so there are some missing values. So it is not recommended that if doctors is occurring the highest number of times. So mode means the data which is occurring the highest, which has a highest frequency or occurring highest number of times. Mode means that. So if doctor is coming highest number of times, like in the population of data, if maximum people are doctors, that doesn't mean the missing values which are there will be doctors. Okay, so it actually very dicey to take such decision, like whether you can replace with mode or you have to treat it as like something else, like you can name it instead of missing, you can just put it at profession not known or not known, something like that. Okay, so yes, but if the data set is very low, like 5 or 6 data is missing and it is a huge data, then just 5 and 6 I'm giving an example, like the data set which is missing very low compared to the very huge data, then I think you can populate with or impute it with mode also, the categorical data if it is missing. So this is kind of a concept. Now what is interpolation? Interpolation is when you loop around the similar data points and you populate the data with those some assumptions. So what is it? I will give you an example, you will understand. Let's say the credit data. Okay, so bank publish the credit data and they have the credit data with them, like say the person who has applied for the loan and the amount received. Okay, so there can be two features, a loan applied or the loan released, or the loan amount released, or the loan applied, or the amount of the good, say amount of the good. So what happens is when you take the credit is it is an assumption, general assumption, like I am buying a house, more or less approximately the loan amount which I will apply, say I am applying for 30 lakhs of loan amount, that will be kind of approximately equal to my house price. Say it will be 40 to 45 lakhs kind of, and I have applied for 30 lakhs of loan amount. Say any furniture also, like nowadays the furnitures or the electronics instruments, they are actually available in 0% EMI. So you don't have to give any down payment. You can just put in everything in your EMI. So if you just buy a free and it is 50,000, that is your loan amount, okay? And 50,000 will be almost approximately to your amount of the good also. That is a refrigerator, the price of the good, okay? So if the say my amount column is missing for some of the data rows, that amount, the price of the good is not reflecting, the price is not there, and it is a very important data point. Price is a very important data point, and price is missing. Then what you can do is you can do assumption that since the loan amount is present, so you can populate, like approximately that amount only in the price also. Kind of, like it's an assumption that maybe the loan which is received is more or less will be similar to the price of the good. So that is kind of an assumption. So you can impute with that interpolation. But yes, it needs, like lots of experience and lot of data analysis to understand that point, that how the variables are correlated or not. Okay. Extrapolation is that sometimes we can draw the pattern of the data and we can just assume that this will be this. So let me give you an example. So suppose there is a data of the country data, and there is a pattern which is coming like USA, then Japan, then India, then France, then again the same pattern is going on repeating. Okay, then USA, then France, then Japan, then India. The country names are occurring like this. Now, if there is a missing value pattern, missing rows in some portion of the data, like the country name is missing, then you can follow the same pattern and extrapolate the pattern in the missing values. Like since USA, after USA, all the time the France only came, all the time the India only came, all the time the Japan only came. So you are just extracting that pattern and you are extrapolating. But this is again very risky. It may not be the same every time. It is just, like depending on your data also and analysis also and your experience also. So this is not very much recommended extrapolation. Okay, but yeah, interpolation can be done if you have a perfect understanding of the data, and with little bit logical reasoning, you can understand that. Okay, so here comes, the data cleaning. We will talk about little bit on the outliers. So what are outliers is, I will give you a like example, you can understand it very well. Generally, outliers we understand by box plot. Okay, what is a box plot? I will come to it later. What is outlier? So suppose I have a salary data, okay, and I have the median salary of all the developers. Okay, so it is around 1 lakh per monthly, 1 lakh per month. For all the developers around, like 5 years experience, it is kind of 1 lakh per month. I have the median, like it is varying, but it is kind of an average 1 lakh. Okay, so if there is one CEO data is incorporated into that, or CTO data, and he is earning maybe 5 lakhs a month. Okay, so for that data point, the average will shift fully to the right. So it won't show me any more 1 lakh as an average. It will compute that 5 lakhs into the, like all the 1 lakhs, 90,000, 70,000, 80,000, 1 lakh, 10,000. It won't show me a 1 lakh anymore as an average. It will completely shift to the higher side, and the average data will be shown as kind of say 2.5 lakhs or something like that. So it is a fully wrong interpretation or statistical measure which is coming from the data, because average salary of the developers is not 2.5 lakhs. It is near about around 1 lakh, right? But why it is showing that kind of average? Because high value of CTO salary is also incorporated into that. So that is kind of not a fit into that. It is a misfit data. It's an outlier. It is completely falling in the, like it is not in that range actually. That 5 years developers data, normal developers data, it is not in that range. It is falling in the outlier zone. So if you don't treat it, what is happening is, the average and everything is shifting, right, to the higher side. So which is not a good statistical measure, and it will definitely not train your model well. So there you need to treat your outliers. So this is an example. It can be anything. You have to just check in the box plot that whether you have any outliers. So there are ways of treating the outliers. First of all, identify and correct the error. Some outliers happen because of the data entry error. So if your source is known, that from where the data has entered, you can actually correct in the source so that the outliers are corrected. Sometimes it happens in the bank, that bank data, like the input data is wrong and all, or the form is filled up wrong way. So it can be corrected there so that the data comes, like the outlier doesn't come at all. Ignore the outlier means for the EDA, you can ignore the outlier, but not for the machine learning. Machine learning, you have to treat it. For the EDA, you can just see if the outliers is there or not. Okay, you know that some outliers are there, then you can just ignore it. That's it. You can show you an analysis that here in this variable, some outliers are there. But you just ignore it, kind of. You do that analysis, you give the recommendation, but you just ignore it. You do nothing on the outlines. So one example can be, suppose days employed. Okay, so a person in the lifetime, how many years they can work. Okay, if they start working at 20 years also, maybe till 60 years, 70 years, say maximum 50 years they can work. So outliers data, if some data will be coming as 100 years, like years of experience, 100 years, and it's an outlier data or a wrong data, right? So you can just ignore it. You can tell some wrong data has come into the data point, right? So it is kind of an ignorance. Like just ignore the outlier. Transform the data. Now some outliers can be, like transformed in a way of scaling or by doing the scaling. So what is scaling? Suppose the heights and the weights, okay? So let's take the heights, okay? So height sometimes comes in centimeters, sometimes inches. So if the height, if the set of, like the heights where the scale is inches, suppose 5 feet 4 inch, 5 feet 6 inch, 5 feet 7 inch, in that sounds suddenly 176 feet has come. So it is kind of an outlier, right? But if you are a very, like knowledgeable person and you understand, you can understand that it is given in centimeter. Somehow it is put into centimeter. So you can transform all the data in the same scale. Okay, so either you can take all the data in feet or you can transform into centimeter in the same scale, then the outliers will be treated. Okay, in that way the outliers can be treated. So I just gave the example of height. It can be it can be any variable basically. It can be the money also, like the currency. Some data can be given in dollar and in the INR. So we need to transform it and bring back to the same scale. Okay. Then input the outlier. So input the outlier, sorry. So in input the outlier, it is the same thing. If the, like the outlier is occurring due to the missing values or something, or outliers you can treat just, like competing with the missing values. So if you get any outliers, basically, you can just compute it with the missing value. Okay. So that is kind of a, like, sorry, compute it with the not at the missing value, the median. Mean, median, mode, any statistical measure you can take and you can, the way you are imputing the missing value, the same way you can impute the outliers. Okay, so this is fifth one. Another one I missed here, that is trimming the outliers. Sometimes you can take some threshold value and can trim the outliers there. Suppose a salary example I took. So if you just want to put some threshold that beyond 1.5 lakhs, I won't consider my data point. So you are just everything beyond 1.5 lakhs, you are putting it in as 1.5 lakhs. So you kind of trim the outlier. Okay. So now I will show a little bit on the box plot, how you can know on the outliers part. So this is a box plot. Okay, as you can see. And here you can see that any data points which is falling beyond this fence. Okay. So this is the outlier. Now, what is this fence about? Let me explain. So this is a median. As you can see, this is median. This is Q1, means it is a first quantile and this is a third quantile. So these are very important measure in statistics. Okay. So the difference between the Q1 and Q3 is called the interquartile range basically. So IQ1. So Q1 minus Q3, rather Q3 minus Q1 is the IQ1, interquartile range. Okay. So now IQ1, like the how the fencing is, like how the fencing calculation is done. That is, the right fence will be Q3. Actually, it should be Q3 minus 1.5 into IQ1. So this IQ1 you are getting. So it will be Q3 minus 1.5 into IQ1. And the left fence will be Q1. Actually, it is not minus, it is plus. Q3 plus 1.5 into IQ1 and Q1 plus 1.5 into IQ1. So it will give you kind of it is minus, it is plus. So it is going to the right side and it is going to the left side. So this is kind of minus. So here my Q1 falls and this calculation will be Q1 minus 1.5 into IQ1. So it will give you the left fence. This is my Q3. So Q3 plus 1.5 into IQ1. This will give my right fence. Any points which is lying beyond these two fences, both in the negative and positive side, are called as outliers. Okay. So this is kind of a definition of outliers. So how we know the outliers are there? We can simply plot a box plot and can see whether the outliers are there. Okay. So here actually your this statistical concepts actually is important to know. So this is a kind of outliers we explained. Okay, now little bit I will go to the data, like how the data is coming. Now understanding data is very important since we are talking about data analysis. Now data actually can be two types, it is qualitative and quantitative, and can be nominal, categorical. Qualitative will be nominal, categorical, ordinal. So these two are the types of qualitative, and quantitative can be discrete, continuous. Even discrete can be divided into interval ratio, and continuous can be divided into interval ratio. Now, what is it? I will explain. Okay. So, nominal data is basically your categorical data. So, it can be your name, color, country name, label, gender, like male, female, it is coming. It is a nominal data or categorical data. Okay. So, any qualitative data that is coming like this is a categorical data. And there is no order into that. You cannot put the data in order. So it is just a country name if it is coming. You cannot put any order or rank, right? Ordinal data is where you can put some rank. So it may not be, like always coming like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 rank. Okay, it can come in a categorical way also, but it is actually an ordinal data. Now, how we will understand it? Suppose I am taking a coffee and I am putting some feature to it, like you can say that how the coffee is, okay, and I am telling it is very good, okay, and very bad and very bad. Okay, so these 5 parameters are there. So if the data is coming like this, like very good, bad, very bad, fair, okay, so how this is definitely not a simple nominal data. This is an ordinal data. Why? Because it has a rank. Very good will be definitely better than good. Okay, kind. And fair will be definitely better than the bad. Okay, so this is containing a rank. Though it is coming as a qualitative data, as a nominal data, but it is actually an ordinal data. It has some rank. You can do the ranking, correct? So they are actually the ordinal. You have to understand the data also. Then here it is interval data. Interval data has no true zero starting point. What does that mean? That means is your temperature data. It can start from minus 30 degrees centigrade. You can record the temperature. Minus 60, minus 8. So it is not, starting point is not zero exactly. Okay. It can be 60, it can be 30, positive side also, and the negative side is also there. What is ratio scale? Ratio scale is there is a true starting point as 0. That means your age. Your age cannot be negative, right? Will never be negative, right? Then your salary, it can never be negative, right? So these are all the ratio data. Okay. Now there are some examples. Let's understand this. Like age is what? Ratio continuous. Continuous means what? Continuous means where it is containing some decimal points. And discrete means it is a discrete. It cannot contain a decimal point. Just like, for example, your age can be containing a decimal point. You can say that I am 25.5 years old. Okay, that means you are actually 25 years and 6 months old. Okay, but if you say that there are 2.5 people present in the meeting room, is that valid? No, because it's a discrete data. It cannot take any decimal point. It can be either 2 people present in the meeting room or present in the meeting room, right? It cannot be like 2.5 or 3.5 like that. So it is a discrete data. So age is your ratio continuous. Weight is your ratio continuous. Disease, as you can see, it's nominal. Gender is nominal. Country is nominal. Hair color is nominal. So likewise, you can, check, like you can actually analyze yourself that which data points falls into which category. This is very important. Okay. And apart from this, there can be some identifier data like ID, like product ID, customer ID, employee ID. So this is the ID. This you don't have to actually analyze. This is just coming from the database. Okay. Ordinal and nominal data can be converted to numerical. So ordinal data can be converted to numerical. As I said, like the example, good. You can actually convert it to numerical. You can 1 as very low, very bad, 2 as bad, 3 as fair, 4 as very good, and 5 as very good. You can actually convert to the numerical data. Nominal data also can be converted to a numerical data. How? that there's a concept called encoding. Okay. So in encoding, what we do, suppose male, female, the gender is coming as a data. We put male as 0 and female as 1. So that is kind of done in machine learning. Okay, so that is called one-hot encoding. So you just encode the data with the numerical value so that the machine understands or the model understands it. Okay, then numerical data can be converted to ordinal, or the not converted actually can be represented to the ordinal or nominal data. So numerical data, we can understand how it can be represented as ordinal data, but how is a nominal data? The example can be like, suppose your age is given and you want to group the data. Okay, so you are doing some binning. Okay, you are applying some binning concept. Like, say I am checking the number of people who see the Netflix, and I am like grouping some of the people based on your age. So say 5 to 13. This is children group. So you put this group as you bin this group as children. Then 13 to 18, you group this age group people as teens. Then above 18, you group anybody as adults. Okay. So like that, you are just converting or representing your actual numerical data, which is coming in the age format, like the age which is coming in the numerical format is actually you're converting to a categorical values, but actually it is a numerical data. Okay, so this is kind of about the data. There is some kind of, like I said before, that there are some derived metrics which we can get. So derived metrics are nothing like what is your calculated metrics from your data. Suppose my sales and my revenue is given, my revenue is given and my cost of production is given, and I want to calculate my profit. So you can calculate, you can create a profit column and you can calculate, do some mathematical calculation to get the profit. Okay, that it will be your sales minus production cost. Likewise, there can be many examples. Okay, I just gave one example like price per quantity. There can be many examples which you can calculate and get. So those are kind of not appearing in data as such, but you can derive it. Okay, so those are called derived metrics. Like binning is one example I said. Like you can group the age group and you can like create a new group data point altogether telling that age group. Okay, like students, senior citizens, then adults. Like that, you can like group to a different, like get a derived matrix. That's so encoding is one thing I told already. Like male, female, you are converting to 0, 1. So you are encoding with some numerical values. Okay, and some data derived matrix can be based on the data understanding also. Okay, so this is kind of like I will go quickly to EDA, like how we can do EDA. So let me do my go to my Jupyter notebook. I think this is like, any questions is there so far? I hope it is not boring, right?
Oh, ma'am. Are there any questions? Okay, go ahead, sir.
I have a question here. The age column is said to be continuous, right? Because it contains decimal point values like 25.6, 23.2, something like that. So what if the
which column? Age
column?
Yeah, it is actually like depending on the data. Sometimes the discrete data comes, like there is no decimal values. Like if it is like some decimal points are coming also, it is getting rounded up. Like if someone's age is coming as say 45.5 years, it will be rounded, and sometimes with the bank people in general, in bank happens, they put it as 50 years or they put it at 45. If it is 49.5, they put it at 50. Otherwise, they will put it as 49. So it is kind of like there is a like depending on the data, like you have to analyze and understand that whether it is continuous or discrete here.
Fine. Okay, thanks.
Even the same for weight also. Like weight also, if it is like measured exactly in the decimal points and the data is coming like that, so then it's a continuous data, right? But if the weight is coming, like there is no decimal point and then everything is rounded off, then it is a discrete data.
Yeah, then can we consider it as discrete?
Yes.
Fine. Okay, thanks.
Okay, any other questions?
No more questions, ma'am. They are facing some technical issue. Can you please wait for a question? There's one more question, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Just in continuation with what Daniel sir spoke, so there can be values which are discrete but decimal, continuous with without decimal also, because continuous basically depends on time.
Correct.
May not depend on whether it is integer or decimal.
Correct.
Similarly,
kind of,
discrete
yeah.
also, you have values at fixed points of time.
Correct. So it is kind of, like this is kind of a representation which is coming in the data. Okay. Like you said that since age is a kind of a continuous only. Okay. Because the decimal point is not coming there, it doesn't mean it is discrete. Correct. It is a continuous variable. Like timeline, you said, it is a kind of a continuous variable. If it is coming in the discrete values also with no decimal points, but it is a continuous variable. So likewise, it is vice versa for both. It is kind of this data representation which is coming there.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, there's some technical issue over here. We'll be rejoining in 2 minutes. Can you please wait?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, ma'am.
On behalf of organizing committee, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all of you for attending this session. Your presence has made this event a success. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Munmun ma'am for her insightful and informative web scrapping session you led. Your expertise in the field and your ability to communicate complex concepts in a clear and concise manner made it an engaging and enriching experience for all of us. We look forward to apply what we learned in our own projects and to hopefully have the opportunity to learn from you again in the future. I would also like to express my sincere thanks to our head of the department, Dr. Mallikarjun Reddy sir, for his valuable insights and encouragement that motivated us to organize this workshop. I would also extend my thanks to our esteemed faculty coordinator, Mr. Victor Daniel sir, for their unwavering support and guidance throughout the event. Their effort was instrumental in making this workshop a memorable experience for all of us. I would also like to extend my vote of thanks to the management of Anurag University, CEO Mrs. Neelima ma'am, and Click Edits for capturing valuable moments of this event. Last but not least, I would like to thank all the club members who worked tirelessly behind the scenes to make this event possible. Your hard work and dedication are truly appreciated. Once again, thank you all for attending this workshop and making it a grand success. We hope to have your continued support in all our future endeavors. Thank you.